One question people come across, and there were a lot of people who may have this question in their mind. So, this can be tested by people who are already married or people who are looking for marriage. Though there will be a lot of different aspects, different dasha, antardasha, lot of factors are there which has to be considered. However, I'm just giving you a very basic technique. At least you can have an idea. If the situation prevails, the planet have the basic configuration in your chart for marriage. So what you can do, I'm just giving you a technique. You can check your details on for your main chart, natal chart, and your namanch at vediclife.com, which is vediclyfe.com. You can go there, put your date of birth, time, place, and then click. You will get what lagna, what planetary places are there, and what is your namanch lagna. Okay, so what is the technique? The technique is very simple. Okay, check your natal chart and check your namanch. In natal chart, what you will check the position of your Jupiter, check the position of your Mangal, which is Mars. Okay, now in gochar, whenever Jupiter will see towards Mangal, it will aspect Mangal. Okay, it doesn't matter it is aspecting from a 5, 7, or 9 aspect. Any aspect on natal Mangal in your natal chart, plus or seventh house from Mangal, seventh house from Mars, if it is aspecting that house or conjuncting with the Lord of the house from Mangal, which is seventh. So seventh from Mangal. So for example, somebody is a say. I'll just give you the example later. If it is aspecting, if it is conjuncting with that particular lord, the marriage yoke will get formed. So this is like a lot of other things, other factors are there, but some basics I'm telling you. You can check. I have tested on a lot of charts. Very few failed. 90-95% cases people get married during that time. Obviously you have to see that what is the age and all, because a person at the age of 12 years cannot get married. Okay, the second technique, the same one. Now go to your namanch chart, check the lagna, see if the gochar Jupiter is in the namanch lagna, or the lord of namanch lagna if it is conjuncting with. So this is a very simple technique which you can check in your chart if it is working. For example, I'm just giving you example. Somebody born with Aries. Okay, and say Aries lagna, and say their Mars is placed in sixth house. Right now Jupiter is in 12th house, right, because it is in 12th sign. For Aries it will be in 12th house, so it is aspecting Mars. Okay, now in case, another option I'm giving you, uh, in case Mercury is placed in your 8th house. For Aries lagna, this is not applicable for everybody. In Aries lagna, Mercury is, for example, placed in 8th house. So what happens? Sixth lord is Mercury, and Jupiter is aspecting the seventh from, I'm sorry, I just a little sorry. So in case, I'm just repeating again. The first option is that Aries lagna, Jupiter in 12th house, Mars in 6th house, which means marriage yoga is getting formed. Another option, now Mars is in 6th, so 7th from Mars will be Pisces. So if Jupiter is conjuncting with Pisces or the lord of Pisces, okay, so marriage will happen. So for example, somebody have their natal chart in which Jupiter is in 12th house. Okay, so 7th from Mars is Pisces, and Jupiter already there, Jupiter conjuncting there, so the marriage will happen. Okay, there are other factors as well, but this is basic. Another option, go and check the namanch. Suppose somebody has a namanch of Pisces, right? So Jupiter right now in Pisces, which means it will be there, correct, in the first house, which means marriage can happen. Now check the namanch Lagna Lord placement. Okay, so for example, uh, Jupiter in Navansh Lagna is placed at or let's okay, I will just give you one more example, placed at 7th house, which means Jupiter during Gochar is aspecting 7th house and Navansh Lagna Lord. Let's take a second example of Navansh to make it more clear. So for example, it is a Pisces, it is a say Virgo Lagna. Okay, so Jupiter, where is Jupiter? Jupiter right now will be in 7th house. Now Virgo Lagna, Jupiter is aspecting Virgo Lagna, number one. So that will not be very effective, but yes, it will work partially. Now check if Jupiter, where is your Mercury? For example, in Navansh, Mercury is placed in 11th house, correct? So which means Jupiter will be aspecting 11th house from 7th house right now. So the marriage can happen. Another example, for example, in the same chart, Jupiter placed in in 7th house in Pisces for a Virgo ascendant, and suppose Mercury is placed in 7th house. Mercury is placed in 7th house, which means what? Jupiter right now is with the Lagna Lord of Navansha, right? Jupiter is with the Lagna Lord of Navansha conjuncting there, which means marriage will happen. So these are two techniques. People who are married, good morning, Sagyan. People who are married, they can test on their charts if the same situation happened during at the time when they got married. Or people who are not married, they can check, because this is a tested technique. This is an ancient text technique. It is not my technique. It is mentioned in the ancient text, and I did a research on some around like till now it's still going on, somewhere around 70 to 100 charts I have checked. The marriage happens in that time. So you check in your chart, and obviously there will be other factors which can make it completely different, but these are some basics. Okay, but that's all. Do not miss to like, subscribe and share the channel, and share with all your friends so that they can also go back and check if such yoga is forming. For detailed analysis, obviously you can contact me, because when I check from at least 5 to 6 methods, and then I say that yes, the marriage can happen in during this time or not, the marriage will happen or not, what remedies has to be done, and that it may be one of the reason. You may say that is one of the USP why you can see a lot of success story of mine on Facebook or YouTube, that whichever time duration I predicted, the marriage happened accordingly, job happened accordingly, childbirth happened accordingly, whatever, right? So because I don't just rely on one technique, this technique suppose is giving me 70%, 80%, 90%, whatever results, I will check other techniques. I will check at least with 4 5 techniques, and then other factors which you cannot check, I check that. Okay, so these things you have to consider, understand. So at least you can before contacting me, this is again a pre-check that yes sir, these kind of situations are prevailing, can you check from other aspects if the things are going and if the marriage can happen. Okay, so in that I mentioned the date. So this is like, okay, the marriage can happen in this year till this time, but when the marriage will happen, that's also very important, what kind of marriage will happen. So that's all. Do not miss to like, subscribe, share it with as many as people you can. Subscribe my channel so that more and more people, and whenever I come live or whenever I give some technique or some prediction, you can get the notification, and share with your friends and family members so that they can share it further. They can watch and they can check their individual chart. If they do not know what is their lagna, what is their navansha, they can simply log into our site vediclife.com, vediclyfe.com, and check their navansh as well as their natal chart and test this technique. Okay, do not miss to put the comment once you test, because everyone will not be able to test, but in case if you have any query, any question, do not ping me on my WhatsApp. Please mention your comments in the comment box of this video. Okay, well, that's all. Thank you very much for watching Astro Planetary Dance, the dance of planets. Bye bye.